going on, guys? I'm back here again with another amazing podcast, back in the amazing studio, consistent with the podcast, per usual. Today's topic, Missions Impossible. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, what do you mean Missions Impossible? Like, what does that mean? Pretty much, I am what's called a secret agent. I have a set of skills that allow me to get in situations where I'm always able to make it out unscathed. Pretty much. Like everything, I just have divine intervention. Like everything just always goes my way. Like I never really have issues in life. I really can't explain it, but like I just always find a way to make it out. Missions Impossible. And these be the craziest scenarios. So I'm going to go over a couple of crazy scenarios you guys gave me, and I'm going to tell you what I would do. Like, what would you do scenarios? This is what I would do in these scenarios. First scenario is, the first scenario that actually brought this all together, someone brought this to my attention. So there was a B-Day dinner, right? And the B-Day dinner, the after meal cost was about $4,600. And the B-Day girl expected everybody to split the bill. Now, the birthday dinner bill comes out to $4,000, and the birthday girl expects everybody to split the bill. Now, I don't know about you, but I know about me. I'm not paying that shit, okay? I'm not paying a dime. If I ate a salad, I'm paying for my salad, all right? I don't know what them Bamas was ordering over there, but I know what I bought. And what I bought was not even remotely close to this. So I'm not paying no extra fee for your little buddies. Like, that's dead, okay? So all I'm going to say is I'm paying for my salad because I'm vegan. I don't even eat that much food. I eat, like, rice and veggies, like $4,000. That's a car note. That's a house. That's a car. You can get a Honda Civic for $4,000. And then who in their right mind, like, I don't like people that, like, go to places and they'll order more than their pockets. You know what I mean? Like, who are you to be going up to Ruth Chris, ordering X, Y, and Z, knowing dang well your pockets ain't Ruth Chris pockets? Like, you crazy. So, I don't know. I would have looked at the birthday girl, and I'm not even that close with my friends as it is. Like, my friends as it is already know the deal. So, like, the fact that you would have your friends rack up a crazy bill on you, and you the birthday girl, you're gonna have a shitty birthday. That's honestly the best way I can explain. You're gonna have a terrible birthday because I'm not paying that. Yeah, I got a little YouTube money, but that's my money. Like, no. Like, So I would get out of this scenario. I would pay my bill. I would say, waiter, can I give you the tab under the table? Give me the tab under the table. And I'd tell him, give me the tab under the table, get my card. I'd pay my monies, give him a little tip for making it discreet. And I'm going to tell everybody, so I'm going to go to the bathroom and then I'm going to leave. You will never see me again in life. You'll never see me again, and I'll make sure to post the Instagram pictures too. You'll never see me again in life, but I'll make sure I post those pictures of the dinner, like, oh, best dinner ever, family first, da-da-da-da-da. And you're probably going to see people in the comments of the post like, nigga, did you slide off? Did you slide off? Where'd you go? You never came back from the bathroom. And I was like, see, my check-ins in my savings, and my savings was in my check-in. I paid my bill. That's all I got to say for that. So for a scenario like that, as soon as I heard it, I was like, the fact that someone would even have the audacity to put some bill in my face and I didn't rack up all these charges. If I ate salad and I had like a little lemonade, I don't even buy drinks first of all. First of all, I get water with lemon because it's cheaper. And I knew I had my meal planned out to be $20 or less. Because that's me. Like, I don't like to eat out because I like to save my money for social gatherings. So, like, if I ever had to go on a social gathering, I could eat good. You know what I'm saying? I have money. Like, I'm not looking like one of these broke boys out here that like, oh, I can't go out with you guys because I don't have it right now or da-da-da-da-da. Like, if you don't got it right now, you got to get your life together, bruh. Like, you're not living right. But, yeah, for me, Jakala, I always like to have a little bit of money in my pocket. So, to have a little bit of money in my pocket and then just squander it on one night, I'm gonna just look at the company and I'm gonna be like, y'all, I don't know how y'all gonna get this money, because y'all need to look at them niggas. Y'all need to look at them niggas, because I don't know about me. I ate a salad. So yeah. Next scenario of like Mission Impossible, but that's like really the catalyst of like even that brought this podcast to a thing. Like even made me want to do this. But you guys ever been in a scenario and like, this happened to me? This happened to me last fall, and when I tell you this scenario, you're going to be like, yo, that is the most jankiest mess ever. So I'm in Bowie State, right? And we have this group project, and this girl ends up doing all the work in the project, and then she expects the teacher to only give her the grade. But it's not even but she did it early. She did the group project early and didn't even assign no roles to nobody else in the group. So it's like, dude, like, why'd you do the whole project? Like, no one told you to put all that on yourself. Like, honestly, I just looked at that girl and I looked at her crazy because I was like, why would you do that? So in a scenario like that where she's throwing dirt on your names, like they didn't do shit, they lazy as hell, they did nothing for the project, da-da-da-da-da, when really she didn't even assign roles. She did the whole thing on her own and put the whole thing on her back, made her life harder or whatever, when she could have had help or whatever. In that situation, I'm telling the teacher, this lady's lying. This lady is lying on our names. The fact that she just assumed that us college students did not want to do this project. No. So in a scenario like this, how I would get out of this scenario, I would abruptly tell the teacher, man, I have another group, and just sign my name on their paper. Because the fact that someone actually go out of their way to hold down another black person is blasphemous, and I don't want my name attached to that kind of person. So I wouldn't even want that project. And hopefully whoever is out there that did that janky stuff to us last fall and did our project and didn't sign our names on it, hope you failed. Hope you failed. But yeah, that's how I'd get out of that situation. I would literally just find another group. And I think that's what I did. I found another group and I signed my name to them because they know me. You know, I'm Mikkel. I'm that guy. I'm Mikkel. So, you know, you got to help Mikkel. So, like, they helped me out, you know, came through clutch. And they was like, oh, we got you, Mikkel. We're just, get over here. Get your name on here. And I didn't have no clue what the project was about, but I got the A. So that's all that matters. Shout out to you, Madison. Next scenario, and these scenarios are like pretty hard scenarios. Like, what I call it, this next scenario is actually kind of juicy. We call it, what would you do after leaving your parents' house and then falling on hard times? This is one of those ones where it's like, all right, here's my 3-step of how to get back off the street after leaving. So say scenario, you leave the house, right? You're like, you know what? I'm 24 and I'm out of here. Like, I'm 24 and I'm out of here. And you never see me again. I'm signing me a lease. You sign your lease, cool. Get your little apartment. Your job you had lined up, that's going to be paying you $13K or however much K it is to afford an apartment in this area. They go bankrupt. You don't have a dime to your name, and you already done swore your whole family. So you moved out, swore your whole family like, fuck you, and fuck you. You're never seeing this face again. I'm an independent man. I'm 24 years old. I'm out of here. Slam the door. You know, so you did all that. You cursed everybody else in your house. You burned all your bridges. And now you're falling on hard times. And now you have the option to go back home after just claiming all this independence or be homeless. Here's what you're going to do, how to get out of homelessness. Because we're not going back home. There's no going back. When you leave that house, you stay out of that house. That's what my dad tells me. When you leave, you don't come back. Okay? So you need to do everything in your power to stay away. Okay? Stay away from home. This isn't some hotel hostel where you just, come back and appear and then you leave and you come back again. No, you leave. You leave and become your own man. And he always is preaching us to become our own man. I don't know what that ideology came from. I don't know where he got that saying from, but he wants us to become our own man. So we're going to go do that. All right. So here's how you become your own man. So you're homeless. All right. It's kind of shitty. You take whatever monies you have left, you find the cheapest storage unit, and you put all your belongings in a 4x4 and you just cram everything in there just so your stuff is somewhere, right? Say you have a car, you get that car and you drive Uber. Yeah, and if you live in that car, then you're gonna have to insulate it so that it's like livable but also Uberable. So you're gonna do that. You're gonna drive Uber, and then you're gonna get a job. You're gonna get a PO box. You're gonna save, make as much money as possible. Get back on your feet. Find another place. Get your stuff out of the storage unit. You shower at the gym. But you do not return home. You do not return home. And yeah, you could suck up your pride and you could go back home to your cushy house and your cushy couch and your cushy bed. But think about the psychological effect that will have on yourself. Think about psychologically how that's going to affect you in your mind. And you're going to think to yourself, wow, I literally was this close to freedom and now it's gone. Now I'm back in the house. Now I have to do dishes under somebody else's rule. You're no longer the king of your kingdom. And for me personally, my mental health is worth way more than my pride. I don't know how I'm trying to word this, but typically what I'm trying to say is my freedom, my sense of freedom is at the utmost importance, is what I'm trying to say. So any sort of feeling of not sense of freedom, I run from that. So to call it, once I'm free, there's no going back. Like literally, I'll literally have the hardest time ever in life, and I'll make sure nobody knows about it. No one's gonna ever assume a thing. Like they're gonna be like, "Oh, Kel looks fine to me. I just saw him on the YouTube doing this thing." They don't know I've been homeless for 3 months, working 9 to 5 jobs, just trying to scratch every penny together to find another lease for another place. They will never know any of that happened. Only I will know. And I will look out the window with a bowl of oatmeal and I'll eat it in my new cushy apartment. And I'll think to myself, they never knew. Nobody knew. And that's how I'd get out of that scenario. But there's no returning back. I will be homeless. That's how you get out of this scenario. Mikkel, you heard this first. Be homeless before you move back in the house. If you attempt homelessness and it goes horrible, then you move back. But at least you exhausted all resources. You don't want to be that guy that said, "Oh, yeah, I fell on hard times and then I moved back in with my dad and now I'm living with my dad." What girl wants a guy that lives with his dad? You know what I mean? It's not that bad of a lifestyle, but still, you want your own. You want your own. You want your own. You want your own bachelor pad. You can take, your shawty too. And you guys can do what you guys do in your own. You don't gotta worry about, is my dad coming home? Is my brother gonna walk in on us or something? I don't know. You want your own. Be a man, This isn't one of those rhetorics, but be a man. Get your own. That's how I'd get out of that scenario. Next scenario, and these scenarios aren't as hard to get out of than I thought they were. Like, people make it seem like it's really hard to get back on your feet. It's not that hard. Literally, if you buckle down and you find a job and you just shut up and work and you just don't complain to other people, because people aren't trying to hear that. People aren't trying to hear you complaining. People aren't trying to hear you moping because you moved. You left. You had a good life here. You left us. That's how your family's looking at it. You left us. We were going to support you and feed you and provide for you, and you went up and left. So we don't care that you fell on hard times, Tom. We don't care. All right? We sold your Xbox. Like, that's what you're going to go through if you leave and you decide to come back. So do you really want to put up with your father or your mom's mouth? Who wants to put up with that? Especially at your old age, 24, you still getting put up with your mom's mouth or your dad's mouth? Me personally, I couldn't go like that. That's just me. I just have that kind of pride. Me personally, I'm not going like that. I'm be honest. But yeah, some people, like, I ask some people this question and they say, "Hey, I have no pride. I have no shame. I will go back home on my knees and beg. I have no shame in my game. I will not be homeless. I will go back and they will need to let me back in my old age." And I'm just like, Shaking my damn head. Because it's just like, at your old age, look at your friends. Your friends have homes. No, ma'am. Next scenario. In this scenario, I like this scenario because it's one of those philosophical questions. Because people don't know, I'm a philosopher. I am one of those philosophers. Like, I took philosophy in college, back in 2019. And I was really good at it. And I'm a philosopher. I'm like one of those Socrates kind of guys where it's like, I just want to be moral. I just want to live on that fine line of moralness where I'm not a perfect person. And I know I'm not a perfect person. And, you're probably going to find out a little bit more as the podcast goes along that Mikel's not who I thought I was. I still like him, but he's not who I thought he was. But I still like him. Shout out to Mikel. You're going to find out some things about me in these next 3 scenarios. So we're going to go with the first one. And it gets juicier each one. Last 3 scenarios. Is it better? Question. Is it better to spend your early 20s as the best time of your life or your late 20s? Like, is it better to spend your best times in your early years or your late 20s? For this question, I feel like it's better to spend your early 20s as your best years, because I feel like your late 20s are going to feel like the dog days, because like late 20s kind of leak into like early 30s. In your early 30s, you're kind of rejuvenated again, like, oh, I'm 30. I'm young. I can run. You can't run, but I can run, like I feel like in your late 30s, you're old again. Like, so it's like a flip-flop. Now, me personally, just driving the car right off the lot or whatever, your body and stuff, as a 21-year-old, I feel really good. Like, I feel like I could get strong tomorrow if I wanted to get strong tomorrow. Like, I haven't worked out in about 4 weeks, but if I wanted to, like, go crazy in the gym right now and just get crazy jacked, I literally have the mental resolve to go do that right now as we speak. I just am not doing that because I'm busy right now with, like, college and stuff. But if I wanted to do that, I could do that. I'm not showing off. But what should I call it? As far as just living life, like, you go on Instagram, right? And you guys see these people. This is what I've been going through this week. You see these people posting pictures in Jamaica. You see people posting pictures in Belize and Spain and Germany and Nigeria. Going to fucking New York. You know what I mean? You're seeing these people and, they're living their best life. And it looks fun. And, it'd be nice to also be living your best life. But that's not our lives right now. Our lives consist of schoolwork and paying bills and working and trying to build experiences and stuff. I feel like we got it wrong. Guys. I feel like we need to be in Jamaica and Belize and traveling the world in our backpacks and like just experiencing life. I feel like we got it wrong. I feel like living for the future instead of living for the now, we got it wrong. Now, definitely don't put your whole life on hold. Like, don't stop everything you're doing right now and go travel to Jamaica or something. I don't know what is with me in Jamaica. I just feel like Jamaica is where you start your traveling journeys. Like, you go to Jamaica and then you can go to all the islands. You see in Jamaica, you've seen them all. That's what I feel like. I feel like it's like Florida on steroids. But yeah. So I just feel like we should just do it now, because I remember I watched this video one time of this old lady, and she was talking about how she had wished she did more traveling in her early years instead of waiting till she could afford to travel comfortably. Because when you're in your early years, you have way more energy to do stuff and just go more adventures. You're more adventurous in your early years. You can take more risk. Instead of living life of fear, she wished she took more risks. Now, I'm not saying don't go swim with sharks. Don't swim with sharks and don't jump out of a plane. But, if you want to take that trip, take that girl's trip. This is going to hit a lot of girls right now. Let the trip make it out the group chat. I know all you girls are feeling attacked right now. Like, how does he even know about this? What does he know about this? Let the trip make it out the group chat. I know all you sisters out there planning trips like, oh, we're going to go here, we're going to go there. You're sending stuff to each other on TikTok. Oh, we need to go wine tasting. We need to go sip in paint and go make a painting and go make something. I don't know what it is with girls and wanting to make stuff drunk. They just want to make stuff drunk all day, but you want to make it out the group chat. It ain't making it out the group chat, and it's terrible. We need to be better than that. We need to just, everybody put your freaking lives on hold. Put your bills on hold. Put your lives on hold. Put your kids on hold. First of all, you shouldn't even be having kids. We're freaking in our 20s. Why are we having kids at 19, 18, 20? Do that later. Do that shit later, man. You got it messed up. I'm not having kids till like 25, 28. I feel like the way we should live life is through phases. I feel like we should live life through phases. Like, we have the graduation phase. You get your car, you go out with your friends. That's like early 20s, right? Now, we're not going to be out here balling, but I feel like if we live life through phases, but we live life and we take chances and we live life on our terms, I think when we do get to like 24, 25 or whatever, it's going to hit a lot different or whatever as far as like just buckling down and having to like sacrifice and do all these sacrifices, because now we're getting closer to 30. And I feel like the closer you get to 30, the more you need to get serious. So it's like, say you go through all your young 20s and you're going through school, and you're still you're not in a place where you want to be, and you start entering into your late 20s and you're still not in a place, then you've never in your 20s ever had time to just relax, because you're so busy on trying to get to this imaginative place that you want to be in life. When it's like, fuck imagination. Let's turn our dreams to reality. Let's wake up and turn these dreams into reality. Like, let's just go to New York. I don't know what's in New York, but let's just go to New York. Let's just go to Paris. Let's get a passport. Like, I need to get a passport so bad. Like, my passport's expired. I need to renew it. I don't even know how to renew it. Leave in the comments if you know how to renew a passport so I can renew my passport and I can go somewhere. I want to go to Spain. Spain is actually very beautiful. It's one of the underrated places. Spain, Rome, and Italy. Like, that Mediterranean Sea area is very beautiful. And like, that's where the real party's at. Yeah, you got Jamaica and you got all the islands. And like, you know, I remember this one podcast, they said you go to one island, you've been to all the islands. And I think that's very true. So honestly, I want to see Europe. I want to see Japan. I want to see China. I want to be in a minority in those places. I want to go shopping in the Philippines. I don't know. I want to go to Singapore, go to Korea. I just want to see everything and do everything. And so when I have my boring, mundane life, you know, with a kid and, you know, a nice house and a family and stuff, I can say I lived, you know what I mean? Like, I can say that I lived the good life. I experienced that journey of traveling. So it's like, I don't look down on the way I live my life now. Like, I actually can appreciate more my slowed down, mundane life of just being a dad and taking the kiddos to baseball practice and taking my daughter to dance practice and stuff. I can appreciate those things more because I got to experience my life. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, I'm not having a life of resentment, and I'm not, like, counting the years. Like, oh, I can't wait for so-and-so to turn 18 so I can finally go travel the world. Like, go travel the world, man. Go do that. Because, like, if this old lady is talking about she wish she traveled the world when she had no money in her pocket and barely could make ends meet, and she probably doesn't make it barely make ends meet. I'm embellishing, but she didn't have the finance she had in her later life, so that she wasn't out here living in lavish. Like, you're probably going to have a couple trips where you're not living so lavish. You're not balling out, you know, but you're living the experience. It's for the experience, you know, going to museums, eating the French food, eating the food of the people. Let's eat the food of the people. That's a good trip, in my opinion. Like, a W trip for me in my 20s, good pictures, going towards some water, maybe a boat ride or some form of water activity, jet skiing, anything water activity. ATVs, I don't know, something about ATVs, the beach, eating authentic food that you will never get in life, only in that place. That's what I experienced. Like, that's what I feel like is a good checklist. Like, water, food, clothing. You don't got to spend too much. We're not balling yet, so you're not buying too much clothes, but get one article of clothing from that area that whenever you see that clothing, it reminds you of that place. A souvenir. Find a nice antique souvenir. It might be seeming hoarder, but get an aesthetically pleasing souvenir that can fit in your house, that's not too big, like a tiny souvenir that only you would know about because you were there. Get one of those. Get your pictures because you have to document. Documentation is important because people need to know that I'm living a better life than you. Like, you need to have this life. You need to portray a life of I'm living better than you for the Instagram masses. It's a competition. Who's living the better life? So yeah, you need to get those documentations. You need to take as many pictures as possible. You need to experience. You need also experience. You need to also enjoy the experience. Don't make the pictures the main thing. Enjoy the now. Enjoy the experience. But also document. Like, I don't like when people look down on people that like to take pictures. Like, I'm the kind of person, like, if I'm paying to be here right now, or I went out of my way to be here, I want to document this so I can look back at it. And you're going to want to look back at it too. So why are you giving me a shitty time about documenting this nice event when you can just shut up and let me document and mind your business? That's people's problems. You're not minding your business. And that's really the premise of even this whole topic of should you live, should you live have your best time in your early 20s or your late 20s? Tell the people that are telling you that you need to be living your best life in your late 20s need to mind their business, okay? Because it's all a trap, because when you get to your late 20s, you're going to want to settle down and have some kids. And you never got to do anything fun. And all you did was you lived life, went to college, had kids, you died. Is that what you want for your life? No, I want to go crazy. I want to sniff cocaine. I want to go to Vegas, baby. I want to go to Miami. I want to go to the Super Bowl. I want to go to WrestleMania. I don't know. I want to freaking go to Everest. I want to go to Mount Everest. I want to go to Bangladesh and drink the water. You know how dangerous that would be? But I want to do that. You know what I mean? I want to go to Japan. I want to be a samurai. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to Mario Land in Japan. I want to go to Disney World. I've never been to Disney World. Come on, I want to do stuff, dude. I having no kids. I'm one of the only ones in my friend groups that don't have kids. 3 fingers up if you still don't have kids. Do 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 do. It's hard out here. It's really hard out here. But yeah, shout out to not having kids. But yeah, experience your life. I'm very much an advocate. Enjoy your 20s. Enjoy your now. Take a gap year or 2 or 3 or 4. If you go to school at 24, it's not the end of the world, guys, because you'll literally in 4 years graduate at 25, 27. And when you graduate at 25, 27, you're still young enough that people still find you attractive. And it's like, I'm not even 30. I'm 24. And you have a degree and you experience the world. You've done more than most people can say they've done. And then also you have work experience. So say you have that dream job that was only offered to you at 19 or 17 or 18. Take that dream job, put school on hold, work that dream job for 3 years. And in 3 years, you'll be the district manager of that job. And you'll be making more money than anyone could have been making in those 3 years you were wasting in college. Now, I'm in college wasting my time and money, but it's okay because I'm already in the trap. But I'm trying to work my way out of the trap. This podcast is one of those outlets. You got to have little outlets that, you put your free time into that are like your escapes from the mundane rat race. I need to get these classes done. I have stuff to do, but this is fun for me. So we're taking the break. We're taking the brain break because we're prioritizing our mental health. Thank you for BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. No, I don't have any sponsors yet, but once we start getting sponsors, I'm gonna start being like, thank you for BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. You too can take this code McKell-G15 for more discounts for BetterHelp, like stuff like that. Like, I want to be like that. We're gonna get there one day. But what you call it? I just feel like we need to prioritize enjoying the now, because we're only young once. And, we need to go to all the darties and stuff. Now, I've done a lot of darties and parties and stuff. So, like, I'm not really big on parties right now, for real. I'm more big on just experiences. You know what I'm saying? Now, I still do go to my occasional parties. I'm not an old fart. Now, but what you call it? I don't go to all the parties. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would say if you're 18, 17, 20, go to all the parties. Party. Party on Monday, we're going to be partying on Tuesday, and we're going to run it back on Wednesday. Like, you need to go to all the parties when you're young. Get that shit out of your system. Go freaking nuts. Go nuts. Because you're only young once. So I feel like when you do it, and you did it the right way, and you had your fun, now you're not old Steve that's trying to reclaim his youth at 29 in the club. Why are you 29 in the club? You need to be at home feeding your kids or something. I don't know. Watching Netflix with your wife. You need to be settling down. Settle down, Steve. Terrible. But yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like you should enjoy your 20s. Enjoy your 20s. If you take nothing from this podcast, enjoy your effing 20s. Enjoy your young 20 years. If you're in your late 20s listening to this podcast, it's too late for you. I have nothing to tell you. Hopefully you have an apartment by now or some form of residence, because you can't move back, clearly. It's a mission impossible. You have to be homeless. Next segment. So this Mission Impossible is one of those missions where it's like, it's possible to get out of this mission, but it's definitely one of those pulling of the emotions kind of mission. So you fall in love with two people at once. What do you do to get out of the scenario? Now, let me explain, guys. I'm not a whore. I've fallen in love with two people at once on multiple occasions. Too many occasions that I can count. And I'm not proud of that. You know what I mean? Especially, just being around like college life and stuff. If you go to Howard, if you go to Bowie State, if you go to Morgan State, you're going to come across a lot of life. And you're going to come across a lot of people. And it's just so hard to just pick one. It's so hard to just pick one, the one. And you're asking a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 17-year-old to pick one person to be their main chick when there's so many people. And then it's like, this main chick is this could be your wife, This could be your effing wife. So, like, you have to make sure you pick a pretty cool wife, because when you pick a wife, at least for me, there's no picking another wife. So it's like, you kind of have to do your vetting. You have to do your reconnaissance. Now, how do you get out of a scenario where you fall in love with two women at once? There's a couple ways you can go about it. It's hard. It's real hard. Especially when they both do the same things. They both, do the do. They both can do it well. And, they're both freaky. So, that's cool. They're both, black. Like, they both have, nice features of their bodies. Like, I don't know. You could be shallow. You can go the shallow route. And you could be like, oh, who has a nicer body? Who's going to get fatter first? Who's skinnier? Who's taller? Some guys will go for the taller girl because they're like, oh, I want to increase my children's opportunity to play basketball or something. I've thought of that in the past, I'm not going to lie. But I don't know. For me, if I had to pick like the main reason to like just choose one, like what's gonna set the one apart, I don't fucking know. Cause I like old me would say, I want the freakiest one. Give me the freakiest one, and I'll do what I can with that. New me is saying, I want the one who's going to intrigue my mind the most, who's going to give my mind the most value as far as conversations, as far as counsel, as far as, the connection. Like, who am I going to have a genuine connection with where I'm like, we are right here mentally, emotionally, like right here. We're both emotionally mature. We're both straight thinkers. They can be a little bit more mature, a little bit more emotional, but we're like right here. Right here. I'm looking for that because that doesn't come easy. Like a lot of people, they all got the same things. Girls all have the same parts. You'll realize that, later my boys are watching this, and any young ladies, you'll realize all guys have the same parts too. But for the guys, I'm speaking to the guys, you're going to realize all the girls have the same parts. They all got the same parts, butt, titties, face, mouth, all got the same parts. Nothing really sets them apart except for that personality. So you can't really go superficial when you're trying to pick between two women. Can't really go superficial. You can't think of the body. You got to think about that connection. You got to think about when you look that person in the face, who can see through your exterior, your hardness, and really reach your soul. You got to find who can reach your soul. And when you find out who can reach your soul, that's the one. That's the one. It's not easy because sometimes you could be thinking with your you could be thinking with your dick. You could be thinking down there. You're not thinking with your mind. I've definitely been in my fair share of, being in a trance. What a trance is pretty much when you're not thinking logically. You're letting red flags go by because you're so busy thinking down there instead of with your mind. All right. I've been in a lot of situations where I was talking to multiple people and it's like, dude, you don't love her. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? Like, I don't know. I try not to reminisce too much because I feel like it's not healthy for my mind. But when I think about like the times where I was, in love with two people and I had to like really sit down with myself and be like, all right, who's going to win? Who's going to win my rose? I kind of let the universe play it out. I kind of let the universe do its thing. Like I kind of let the universe play it out as far as like, who's going to hate me first? Who's going to not like me anymore? Who's going to get tired of me first? Who's going to get tired of Mikkel? I can be a lot. I can get tiring at times. I can be a lot. So I just played it out by ear. Like, who's going to get tired of me first? So, like, for one scenario, I'll give one example. I won't give too many because I don't want to get canceled. But I'll give one scenario. So the first time I was in an entanglement was probably 2019, 2020. Now, anybody that knew me at that time, don't put the dates together. But I was in an entanglement and this one girl worked at my job and she was cool. And then I met this other girl, church girl, and she went to my school. And when I went to PGCC, and she was cool as well. So, both people are cool. I don't want to give their names because I don't want to get sued or whatever. But I'll call one girl Kaija and I'll call one girl Amani. I'll call one girl Amani and I'll call one girl Kaija. So I don't want to get sued. So Kaija from the South, Alabama, right? Cool girl. And, she had a lot of stuff going on with the family, like family issues, but she was real down to earth. She talked to rocks here and there, but I didn't see too much into that. I was like, all right, talks to rocks. She's a cool girl, light skin. She's a little shorter, she was probably like about 5'3", maybe 5 feet. She was definitely on the shorter side. But it didn't really matter in the bedroom. It didn't really matter in the bedroom because she looked tall to me. You know what I mean? She looked at me eye to eye. So it didn't really matter in the bedroom. So like that was Kaija's, Southern girl, and when she came over and she told me about herself and stuff, I didn't think too much about it. I'm a Maryland guy. I'm from Maryland. I'm a Maryland guy. I don't know too much about the South. So I'm like, all right, what's there to know about the South? Apparently the South is where it's at, because at that time I probably was like 17, 18, and I didn't have too many encounters as far as like physical encounters, like, sex and stuff. But Kaija was definitely, she set the bar high. And I fell in love. Being a young guy who hasn't had too many experiences, and for that to be like one of the first experiences, that bar was set very high. And I want to go into details because it would help give you guys a sense of where my mind is. But I can't go into too many details because I don't know who's watching this video right now. But you can see me going to a place right now. You guys can literally see me going to a place where it's like, I'll tell you guys, this woman knew how to make a man feel good. Like, I remember one time I was in my room and and some stuff came out, and it had hit somebody in the hand and face and stuff. And I had never seen this in my life, but the stuff came out, and they proceeded to lick their hand and lick the stuff up and consume it like it was like the blood of Jesus. Like they licked it up like it was like it was like the most important substance in the world. It was like the most important substance in the world, and they just licked it up, and they was like, oh, I gotta get it all. I'm so sorry, I gotta get it off of you, and licked it up and consumed it. And me looking at that at a 17-year-old mind, I'm just like in shock and awe of like how this can even be a human being. And I'm just like, this is different. This is very dangerous. That was person number one. Person number two, woo, she was older. Kaija was older too, but she was like a year older than me. Armani was like 2 years older than me, so she had some years on me. So she had more experience. The experience showed. Little old me, like, Armani was crazy. Like, she knew her way around a shaft. Now, I can't go into details because, I don't want to get canceled. But she knew her way around a shaft. And she used to play with it in a way where it was, like, masterful. Like, it was like a master class to the point where it's like, this is dangerous. Two dangerous people. Two dangerous Bamas. So you mess with two dangerous Bamas, and it's like, fuck, what the freak do I do? And they both had a lot of red flags. But I didn't care. I at the time. I was in love. I thought I was in love. I wasn't in love. I was in lust. But that's what I'm saying. If you had a solid chick who was intriguing you mentally, you could see through that. You could decipher through that. Now, I let things play out, and I let the universe decide for me. So in that situation, there was no picking between the two of them. I couldn't pick between the two of them. So I just let the universe choose, and Kaija ended up moving back to North Carolina. So I proceeded to date Armani, and that's how the events happened. And I was happy. I was happy with my choice. Well, the universe's choice. But yeah, so if you're ever in a bind like that, fellas, I would just let time do the talking for you. I feel like time is one of those things that it's limitless, and time will reveal all things, and the universe will decide for you. Let the universe decide. You just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the ride. No pun intended. So yeah, that's the way I was living life back then. So as far as being in love with two people, fuck, I've been in love with a lot of people at the same damn time. Boy, do I have an issue. But yes, you need to let the universe play itself out. Another scenario, and this is, we'll get to the next topic, but another scenario, I let the universe play out. It wasn't by my choice, but I remember I was talking to this one girl. I won't give her name because it's a little recent-ish. But I was talking to Kayla, and I was ended up talking to another girl. So I was talking to a girl here, and I was talking to a girl long distance, right? So I'm talking to the girl long distance. The girl long distance has no clue about Kayla. And I'm just like, the girl here had no clue about Kayla. I'm trying to word this story in a way where I don't incriminate myself, because these people could actually come find me. They have my phone number. So yeah, Armani or whatever, I'm still talking to her at the time. And then I ended up talking to Kayla because I ended up falling in love with Kayla. I was a lover boy. So I fell in love with two people again. And me and Kayla's relationship was more emotional connection because we didn't talk, in person. We had the long distance relationship or whatever. So, fuck, you guys are gonna think I'm a sleaze bag, yo. Like, I'm not. So we had this long distance relationship, and me and Kayla ended up not working out. Me and Armani broke up for our own reasons, or whatever. But me and Kayla ended up breaking up, and the only reason we broke up is because she ended up cheating on me. So I had karma. I had, karma come to me. It all comes back in a full circle. Now, I went on a tangent or whatever, but that's what I'm saying. You just gotta let the universe play itself out. The universe will break up with you. The universe will dump you. The universe will bring more people to you. You just gotta play it cool. Literally, this is how I live life, and the universe just brings people to me. I just sit back and I wait. People cross my path. We connect. Sometimes we don't see eye to eye. Sometimes they meet someone better. Me, I'm fine with that. I'm just a fly in the wind. A stick in the wind. I'm not going to stop you. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's how you get yourself out of that scenario. I went somewhere. We just went somewhere, guys. There will be more episodes where we actually can, boil down and actually get to the root of why the hell are you dating so many people, Mikkel? Y'all don't know this, but I honestly believe that the reason why this channel is not where it's supposed to be as far as subscriber count is because I was so busy messing around with people and not focusing on my career that literally there have been so many YouTube videos I could have been posting and editing, but I was too busy freaking talking to girls and wasting my time and telling them sweet nothings and just willy-nilly and just, doing all that, you know what I mean? Just doing all that, you know what I mean? That I could have been out here freaking editing and recording and posting and just focusing on the career. Focus on your career, guys, so you can have something to show for. Girls are cool, I guess, but focus on your career. Last segment. Okay, so you're in a relationship, and this kind of segues. It's a nice segue. So you're in a relationship, and this happened to me one time where I was messing with this girl, and I wanted to break up with them, but I didn't know how to give her the words to break up with them. Now, I'm breaking up with you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Hey, this isn't working anymore. This relationship doesn't serve me. I'm not in that place. I want to be free. These are the kind of things I'll say, or I'll just dip. But I like to give people the common courtesy to just say, I'm not in the headspace. I'm not in the place where I want to be right now to be in a relationship. I like to, say something. You got to say something. Sorry to everybody that I said that to. But, so, you got to say something. Now, if you're in a situation where you're with a girl and she's a dominant girl, she's a not an alpha woman, but definitely one of the girls that likes to wear the pants. She's, a Leo. She's a Scorpio. If you're dealing with Leo or Scorpio, Cancer, Gemini, here's what you want to do. So you want to break up with the girl, and her birthday's coming up or a holiday's coming up, and you don't know what to do. You don't know, what do I do? Like, do I continue this through her birthday? So she's just gonna be like, oh, you're just wasting more years of my life. You're wasting more years of my life. You're wasting years of my good life. Or do you break up with her during the holidays, where it's like, now every time she thinks of the holidays, she's gonna have the memory of you hurting her heart. But honestly, I feel like when you break up with somebody during the holidays, you're doing her a favor, because you're setting them free into the new year. You no longer have to deal with me. You're free into the new year. I am so sorry to everybody who has come across my path and we have not worked out. Apologies to you. I'm a work in progress. I'm not future, but I'm a work in progress. Philosopher. Very much a philosopher. But yeah, so honestly, because I've been in situations like this. Like, I remember one time I was young and I was dating this girl, and things were getting real serious in high school. And it wasn't really dating, but like, I was definitely much like, this was the first time anyone ever, what is it called when you talk dirty over the phone to somebody? They had talked dirty over the phone to me. And like, I might have been like a freshman in high school, and I was like so new to this. I was very much green. So like, it freaked me out, and the relationship was moving very fast, and it freaked me out, and it scared me. I was like, this is moving so fast. And I remember one time she wanted me to buy a t-shirt with her name on it from like the sports club she played for at the school. And I was like, this is too much. This is way too much. This is moving way too fast. And I ended up breaking up with her because things were moving too fast and things were going too good. I have no clue why I did that, but that was just super dumb and it was terrible. Another scenario, another girl's birthday was coming up, and I knew I had to like pull out a lot of stops as far as the birthdays, because they went crazy for my birthday. And it's like so shitty, because it's like, imagine you want to break up with somebody, but they just went all out on your birthday. And now you're like, well, what do I do? Do I break up with them before their birthday? Do I return the favor? Me personally, you got to bite the tab. Now, a lot of guys will be like, man, fuck her. Da-da-da-da-da. If she treats you well during your birthday, you got to return the favor. You got to bite the tab. After her birthday, put up with her for like 2 more months. Break up with her. But at least you did it in a time frame to where she's not emotionally traumatized. Because at the end of the day, I do care about people's emotional mental health. I'm not a total monster. All right? I do care about people's mental and emotional health. So I won't do things to where I know the timing is off. Just like how I let timing figure things out as far as like my life decisions and stuff, I also like to do things based on timing to where I know the timing is right. The timing is not right the day before her birthday to break up with her. The time is not right to break up with her on New Year's Eve. The time is right, break up with her December 1st. So she has all the holidays to forget about you and find somebody new on New Year's Eve. And when the ball drops, she's kissing the new guy and you're off in the distance, looking out the window, drinking your tea. Like, I did the right thing. Just want to be able to sleep at night. I've done a lot of things in my past in these last 4 years of just being out and about. And honestly, through all that stuff, the fact that I can still sleep like a baby, I thank God. I can still sleep like a baby every night knowing that there's not a kid out there with my, DNA in him. Like, I don't have any kids. So I did the damn thing, I did the thing. I don't have no kids. I'm happy now. I'm in a good place. I'm going to leave it at that. But yeah, that's how you guys get out of these scenarios. Timing. This has been the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed these stories. If anybody that missed a mess with me is watching this, do not connect the dots because you won't like the results at the end of the dots. I love you guys. This has been real. This is my time. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Every Tuesdays on the
Mikkel Vlogs.
Lord Jesus, this shit's gonna get me canceled. Oh, I'm still recording.